Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tay Tay and I'm here with a new video for you guys. Alright, so as you guys saw by the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time. I know it's something a bit different from what I've usually done on my channel so far. But nevertheless, I feel like you guys should hear this, and I feel like I want you guys to know this and just kind of hear about this experience that I had. And I'm hoping that it will touch you, that it will speak to you, and that it will be very helpful to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so basically I had like a migraine, and you know, migraines are usually like they happen to a lot of people. Migraines, headaches. I calling this a migraine because it was more than just like a headache. It was extreme, like it was very extreme. But anyway, so basically I had this migraine for approximately 1.5 to 2 years. And I'm gonna explain like what I mean by that in a second. But basically the doctors couldn't really figure out what was wrong with me. And they couldn't, because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, they didn't really know how best to go about it, if that makes sense. So yeah, they were basically clueless as to why I was having these migraines, and as was I was clueless too. But nevertheless, they kept happening. So what I mean when I say that I had this migraine for approximately 1.5 to 2 years is that I would have these migraines probably about once a week, and they would be there for approximately like an hour, 2 hours, and it would affect my like day-to-day life. I was a very active person. I was involved in sports. This took place, I think, when I was 13, 14, or two of those ages. Between 13 and 15, this kind of happened to me. I was a very active person growing up, you know, in school. I was involved in sports all the time. Like, you name a sports team, I was probably on it. Like, I did so many sports. I even played basketball, like, at home, like, outside of school. And I was just very active, like, so, you know, I was healthy as well. I wasn't overweight, you know, to the extreme. I was a pretty healthy, you know, teenager. And so there was really no like explanation as to why this would happen. I was drinking water. You know, I didn't eat in excessive amounts. Like there was no explanation as to why I would feel unhealthy or be unhealthy, in terms of having a headache. So yeah, so this happened, and at this time I didn't have a relationship with God. I grew up in church, but I didn't have a relationship with him. I wasn't living for him. I was kind of just going to church and, you know, raising up my hands in worship and, you know, giving in the offering and all these things because I kind of thought it was the right thing to do. So I didn't know God at this time. I was living a double life. I was in church doing one thing. Outside of church, I was doing something completely different. So yes, I wasn't living for God at all. I wasn't paying him any mind whatsoever. And so this was, you know, the same time that I had this migraine, and, you know, because I didn't really you know, I wasn't really serving God or any of those things. I didn't know that, maybe I could read my Bible, maybe I could pray about it. Like, none of those things ever crossed my mind. And if they did, I didn't take them seriously. Like, I was like, yeah, whatever, like, you know. And so my voice might sound a little weird because, I don't know, it's just really deep right now. But yeah, so that happened, and no one knew what was wrong with me. I got prayed for in church. My parents prayed for me. The pastor prayed for me, and I just wouldn't get healed. I still had these migraines. And after a while, what would happen was that when I would get this migraine, I would go and just lie down. Like, I would go and sleep. And the way that I would do this was so specific. Like, I would remove all the pillows. I would make sure that the place that I'm lying on is absolutely flat. And I kind of in my head thought, maybe it makes my blood kind of circulate for my body properly, get my blood like leveled. Like, that's kind of what I thought that was doing, because it actually worked. Like, after I would lie down like that for I don't know how long, I would fall asleep eventually, but after that time, I would get up and my head would feel fine, and I would just keep on going about my day. And so every time that I got this migraine, I would just do that. And so it became a thing, and I kind of just began to accept it. And I was like, this is my life now, I guess. I'm gonna have to go for this every week or every other week or all the time or whatever until I die. Like, I kind of just like, yeah. And that's really bad. So disappointed in myself, but I really didn't know any better, and I was really young. And so that happened, and it's almost like I did not that I gave up, but I kind of accepted it for what it was. I was like, okay, well, I guess I have a condition. Doctors don't know what it is, whatever, but I have a condition. And it's like I got comfortable, in that sickness. I got comfortable in that, and I kind of just accepted it as being part of me, as part of my life. And yeah, so that was extremely, extremely bad. So afterwards, I went to the doctors. Eventually, I went to the doctors, and they prescribed like medicines for me to take, different pills, and stuff to take, and they didn't work at all. Like, the doctors literally didn't know what was wrong with me, and they just gave me like pills, and like, here, this should like make the migraine go away or whatever. And I was like, okay, and I took it, and nothing happened. I literally tried every pill like on the shelf that you can think of. I tried for headaches. I tried Tylenol. I tried Advil. I tried a bunch of different stuff. And the migraine just didn't go away. And yeah. But this, like I said, this would affect my day-to-day life. Like, I would literally have to stop whatever I'm doing and go and lie down. And it would affect my schoolwork. It would affect things like my chores, just day-to-day life. Like, I'm a teenager, I'm a kid, I want to be out there doing my stuff, playing and having fun. I couldn't do that because I had this migraine that was holding me back. But so yeah, so that happened one day. I don't even know the exact date, I don't know, but one day, guys, this was after like literally a year and like a half or something. Like, this was over a year later, okay? I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. I can't enjoy myself. I can't do anything that I want to do. I can't live my life normally. And I'm like, this is not a way to live. And like I told you guys before, didn't have a relationship with God. I wasn't a Christian. I was just kind of a church goer. And I didn't really pay God any mind. outside of church. And so what happened was, I was like, yeah, I'm like, I've had enough of this. Like, I was so annoyed, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna pray. And guys, I had never really prayed before like this. Like, I've prayed if my parents have asked me to, but it didn't really mean anything to me. You know, I didn't really have a deep connection or anything when I prayed. Like, it was kind of just like, I just prayed. So yeah, so I was just like literally just sitting, or I was just in the bathroom and looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, no, I'm like, this is no way to live. And I don't know what prompted me to do this, or why I thought, okay, maybe I should do this, but I decided to pray. And it wasn't like any prayer that I prayed before. It wasn't like a just, you know, trying to make other people happy. This was for me. This was something that I felt that I needed to do for myself. And basically I was just like, you know what? I'm like, God, if you are real, you know, if you're real and you exist, heal me. And I kid you not, like, I'm 130% like serious. I literally prayed and just said those simple words, and before I even finished my sentence, the migraine left me like that, like literally instantly. And I just couldn't, like, when I said that, I was so serious. When I prayed, I was extremely serious. I was like, you know what, God, I'm like, if you're real, like, this is the time that you show yourself to me, because I have never had an experience with God for myself that I, you know, really stood by or stuck by, or, you know, stood with. This was my first like experience with God. And so I just, I was so in awe and in shock, and I literally like looked in the mirror, and I like went like this. I did a few like tests, and like, you know, to like see if the headache, the migraine was gone, and it was gone. Like, there was no pain whatsoever. I literally, guys, when I tell you that I was extremely happy, I wasn't crying, but I was extremely happy. Like, I couldn't stop grinning for like the whole day. Like, my cheeks were just like, you know, like, it was crazy. And I literally ran out and I just told like everyone in my family, I'm like, guys, I'm like, I'm healed. Like, the migraine is like gone, you know. And everyone was so happy for me, because this is something that I had experienced for over a year. Like, this was something that was, you know, major. Like, everyone in my family knew that this was something that I was going through. Outside of my family, I don't think people really knew that this is what I had to go through behind the scenes. You know, and the migraine was extremely painful. Like, it would hurt to just walk. It was extremely painful. It felt like my head weighed 20 pounds. It was the worst pain I think I felt in my life so far. Like, it's the worst thing I felt, and I don't wish it upon anyone. Like, it was extremely painful. I hadn't known pain like that, you know. And so I could tell that the pain was gone. Like, it was a huge difference. Yeah, and so that was the first time that God really revealed himself to me and showed me that he was real. You know, and after that incident, I still didn't really serve him. And I still was kind of in and out, like, you know, trying to figure out who I am, identity crisis, all these things. But I definitely knew that something was different, and that he existed, and that he was real after that incident. Like, I couldn't deny and be like, God is not real and he doesn't exist, because he literally healed me. And I know that it was him, because when I prayed, I said, in Jesus' name. I said Jesus. I didn't say anyone else. I said Jesus, and I was healed. And, you know, there, like I said, guys, there was literally no explanation as to why as to why I was going through this pain, right? I've tried doctors, I tried basically anything that I could think of, and no one could think of why I was going through this pain and why I had these migraines. And so I felt like my last resort, was to just pray. Even though to me it felt kind of silly, but I literally had no other option. And so, I prayed and it worked. And I can never deny that God is not real, because he is. I know he's real. I've experienced it for myself. Do you know how that feels? Guys, this is extreme. This is 2020, okay? So this happened about 5 years ago, and because I'm turning 20 this year. This happened about 5 years ago, guys, and I can tell you for a fact that I haven't gotten migraines ever since then. I literally am migraine free, and it's the best feeling ever. And I try my best to thank him, because there's no one else to thank. No one else did this but him. And so that's why I always get insulted when people tell me, God doesn't exist. And, there's no such thing as Jesus. There's no such person, as Jesus. And, he didn't heal you. It just kind of went away. When people say that to me, I get so insulted, because that's so false. That's literally so dumb to say. That's literally so dumb. There's no other explanation. I literally went and got myself checked. I got x-rays, I got things done by professionals, and they had no idea what was wrong with me. They couldn't even give me the right medicine, okay? So for someone to tell me that, this all went away by itself, that's so dumb. That's so stupid, okay? But anyway, guys, that is what I wanted to share with you guys in this video. And I just want to quickly just give some encouragement, okay? If any of you guys are sick, if any of you guys are experiencing pain, if you call on the name of Jesus Christ, if you say his name, if you mean it in your heart and you really believe, he can heal you. If God can heal me of something so small, what about things that are bigger? What about things that are smaller? You have a pain in your foot. God can heal you. Jesus can heal you. And so I just want to let all of you guys know, if you are sick, you don't need to keep living your life that way. You shouldn't have to. It doesn't need to be a part of you. And it doesn't have to. God can heal you. God can touch you, and you can have the victory. And I know that what I'm saying may sound cringe, guys, but I truly believe this with all my heart, and I've experienced it, and I know what I'm saying is true. And I want you guys to know, I don't want to keep this to myself. I want you guys to know, because it's no secret. It's in the Bible, it's something that a lot of people, in fact, have experienced. Healing. If you guys go and look online, there are different testimonies of people who, got healed from COVID-19, who got healed from different, diseases, different things. And so I want you guys to just remember, this testimony, remember this story time that I'm sharing with you guys, because you guys don't have to go through what I went through. You guys don't have to live your life like this. You can be healed. So, hope you guys enjoy your day, or enjoy the rest of your day, whatever time zone you're in. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Let me know what content you guys want to see from me, and just ideas and suggestions for new videos. And also make sure you guys follow me on the social media, so you guys can kind of see what I'm up to, and also just be blessed and be inspired. I hope you guys continue to support me, because I really do appreciate it. And every single subscriber and person, you know, who watches really helps me. And I really appreciate each and every single one of you. So yeah, thank you guys again, and you guys will see me in the next video.